this is Wilhelmina Kay with the Sacramento Observer, and we're here at Underground Books in Oak Park. We're talking to Tamika Miller, who is the director of Honor Student. It is one of the films showing at the Oak Park Black Film Festival this week, and it follows an honor student who, after losing his brother to a mass shooting, decides to take matters into his own hands. Good morning, Tamika.
Good morning. Good morning, Wilhelmina.
Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Great. You described the film as a provocative thriller.
Yes.
Can you explain what that means?
Well, Honor Student, as you just said, is a provocative thriller about a teenage scholar who, after losing his twin brother in a mass shooting, decides he's had enough with America's complacency with gun violence. So he takes matters into his own hands. He holds a teacher hostage, and he proves America a lesson it will never forget. I think it's a provocative thriller because you are on the edge of your seats. You're not sure what's going to happen throughout the course of the film. And so, yeah, it is provocative because of its subject matter. It's dealing with gun violence.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that, actually. The subject matter, deal with gun violence. What was the writing process like for this film? I know you co-wrote the film.
Yes. I co-wrote it with a brilliant screenwriter named Joe Reckman. And Joe is really a genre guy. You know, he infuses the thriller element into Honor Student, whereas I'm the political person, the political arm. And so I infuse that. And Joe is wonderful to work with. He really took the lead, and sort of helping us shape what directions the film would go. And we had a great process. And, you know, as an African-American woman filmmaker who is mindful of what's going on in our country in particular, and the world, but in our country in particular, it was important that we told a story that touched upon what was going on in our society around race relations, around what's going on politically overall. And I think Joe and I did a good job.
Being an African-American woman and telling this story about gun violence in America and school shootings, mass school shootings in general, right? What sort of lens do you think, what is a different lens do you think you're bringing to this story?
I think Honor Student is a film we've not seen before. I think when we typically hear of mass shootings, there's a picture painted of who that mass shooter is. Typically a white male, typically young, disgruntled, seemingly disgruntled or so we're told. And I wanted to paint a picture of a co-protagonist that we don't typically see in the media, which is here's someone who is a scholar. He's on his way to Harvard. He has done what we would say everything right. And here he is. He's in a position where he is conflicted, or maybe less conflicted and maybe more committed, I'll say, to what he thinks can curtail gun violence. So I think the lens is very different than what we've seen before. I knew that whether it took me a year, 2 years, 3 years, 7 years to make, unfortunately, the subject would still be relevant. And so this was a script that was actually written in 2017, and we're in 2023 now. And I also wrote the script because I wanted to have autonomy. I wanted to write a script that can be contained enough that I knew I wouldn't need to go to the gatekeepers, the Hollywood gatekeepers, to make it, that I could finance it myself. I could tap a few people I know to finance it. And that's what we did. And every second, every frame of Honor Student is all me, with the help of a great group of talent, a great cinematographer, a great production designer, fabulous producers. So it definitely is a team effort, and I had complete autonomy.
Excellent. How did you go about casting the film?
So I knew I wanted two people of color. Honor Student is a two-hander, which means that it's primarily two characters in one space, although they're more than one space. It primarily takes place in one room, one classroom, with a teacher and a student. And I'll start with the teacher, Kelly Jenrette, who's a fabulous actress. Many people may know her currently. She's an Emmy-nominated actress, but she's currently on the TV series All American Homecoming. And Kelly is an actress who I'd worked with previously on a TV movie, and I knew I wanted to work with her again. I just saw her talent. That film was a romantic comedy. It was more of a comedic role she was playing, but I saw her range. And so when it came around for me to cast the role of Mrs. Hill, an honor student, I called up Kelly Jeanette and I said, all right, we're going to do the Hollywood thing. Your agent and manager will hear about this. We'll get a call, but I want to send you the script, and because I'd love for you to play this role. And then when it came to Hudson Ye, who many people may know from the TV series Fresh Off the Boat, Hudson is a young man who auditioned for the role, and I had him come back for a callback and work with him, and just really loved Hudson's unassuming presence. That's one thing that really drew me to him as an actor. And he also was just really passionate about this role. So in the end, he got it. And I think he did a fabulous job.
What would you say to someone who might criticize that idea to have an Asian American kid play this role?
Well, I definitely got pushback. I got pushback within my own team, actually. Given that there's been such a rise in Asian hate, and whether or not casting an Asian actor was the best thing to do in this current climate. And I understood the concern. And I was really clear about why this was important. I felt it was important that Asian people see themselves, that African Americans see themselves on the screen, and that we're able to see this Asian actor in a role that paints him, as an intelligent human being. He's intelligent, and I'm also dealing with some of the things that go on, I think, within the Asian community and other communities, but just the pressures of needing to perform, of being the best, and what perhaps some of those pressures might lead to. And so to answer your question, there definitely was some pushback. Do we have to hire an Asian actor? Do we have to cast an Asian actor? But I was like, yeah, we do. Yeah. For multiple reasons. I want to just add, just in the filmmaking, one, because this is a potentially triggering subject. It was very important to me that I have a psychologist on set. So during filming, there was someone there who, if a crew member or talent wanted to go in a private room and talk about what might be coming up for them, they had that. They had that option. So I just wanted to mention that. I think that's really important for filmmakers. If you're filming something, shooting something, telling a story about a potentially triggering subject, be mindful of that. Be mindful of the headspace of not just your talent, but your crew.
Yeah. Can you talk about filming during COVID?
Yes, we filmed during COVID, which actually cost us more money. So because we filmed during COVID, there are certain things we need to have in place to ensure the safety of the crew. So COVID testing regularly during the time. There's someone on set monitoring, making sure that there's distance, safe distance between crew members. So it was definitely an element, a variable, if you will, in our filmmaking that, a few years before we wouldn't have had to deal with. But we made it do what it do. We did what we need to do to help everyone feel safe, masked up, safe, tested, and we did. We got through it, and yeah, I'm happy to say we had no cases. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, great. Your film won the
Martha's
Martha
African American Film Festival. It's won actually a few awards, and I'm happy to say. So it won an award at the Boston International Film Festival. Kelly Jarrett, my lead actress, won Best Actress Award at the Los Angeles Independent Film Showcase Film Festival. I won Best Director at the Harlem International Film Festival. So I'm happy to say that Honor Student has had a really successful film festival run.
Did you anticipate this success?
Did I anticipate the success of Honor Student? I hoped for it. I knew that Honor Student is a unique film and a powerful film. Like, I'm so happy I made the film I wanted to make. The film is exactly what I wanted it to be. Exactly. Every frame, every angle, the actors, the music, is everything I want it to be. And so to have the accolades come, to have the invitations to screen it come, fills me with great pride. Like, it's really wonderful. And yeah, and I want a lot of people to see it. I want it to have an impact. I want people to be affected, so the accolades are great. And if that brings a bigger audience, then yeah, that's what it's about.
You started your career in commercials, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
Yes.
Okay.
On the production side.
Side. Okay.
Yes.
When did you go into directing films, and why?
Okay. Well, even when I was working in production, I started out as a PA, as a production assistant, and worked my way up, to coordinating and production supervising, and then line producing commercials. So, but all the while, I knew I was a storyteller, and I was writing and I was shooting things. So while I was making a living in production, I would go off and shoot a commercial spec spot. I would go off and shoot a short film, and so I was always honing my craft. I was always directing, even though I wasn't getting paid to direct yet. And so just working at it, honing my craft. And then eventually I made the transition from producing commercials to directing commercials. The narrative short films were just great stepping stones for me to ultimately, direct my first TV movie. Honor Student is my third narrative feature film. My first two were television movies. This is my first independent film that actually is currently having a limited theatrical release in Los Angeles right now, actually, which is kind of a big deal. So we're happy about that, and that will help qualify it for some upcoming awards. But yeah, I was always directing. Now I get paid to do it.
So this Oak Park Film Festival is all about Black film, Black filmmakers like yourself. What advice would you give to a Black young woman who is trying to come into this field? Or
That's a great question. I would say the advice I would give a young Black filmmaker would be to trust the process, to stay true to your vision, to stay fierce and determined, because not everybody can do what we do as storytellers. And so I think it's important that any filmmaker coming up should also be intentional. Don't just make work just to make work. Be intentional. Have an idea, a thought, a strategy on what you want that work to do for you in your career. So I know I've said a lot, but I tend to tell young people or people wanting to make films to be intentional, and also tap your peers and your resources that are at your disposal, and don't just always be sort of chasing that person or thing that's a level or two above you in terms of where they are in their career. You know what I mean?
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm honored to have spoken to you about the film.
Thank you.
Just quickly, where can people see it? Maybe.
Yeah.
And where can people get more information?
Anyone wanting to hear anything about the films, you can go to our website, honorstudentmovie.com. You can see a trailer there and get a little snippet of what the film is about. You can also find out where it might be screening. If there are any questions or inquiries you have, you can reach my team through the website. You can also follow us on our socials, which is at Honor Student Movie on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter or X, if you're still on there. You can call at our handles at Honor Student MOB, Honor Student Movie. So, but yeah, check us out. Try to see the film.
Where can we find you as a director yourself?
You can find me through the website, which will link you to my personal website, but TamikaMiller.com. And you can see my work and read about what I've been up to and what I have coming up. TamikaMiller.com.
Okay. One last question, because you said it. Yeah. What do you have coming up?
Oh boy. I have coming up, I'm about to start pre-production on another feature film. It's a feature film that I'm really excited about. It stars Wanda Sykes in her very first dramatic role. No one will see this coming for Wanda, where Wanda plays a boxing trainer. She's a former boxer, current boxing trainer who reconnects with the son she previously abandoned and does what no other mother has ever done, train her son to a world championship title.
Wow. That sounds incredible.
We hope it will be.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's an honor to talk to you, and I can't wait to see more of your work.